Hello Internet, my name is Ace and today I'm going to show you how to draw a cute bunny. Now, I've not really drawn many bunnies before, so we're gonna kind of talk through this together. So, all the kind of old animation classics that you can think of usually started with either a circle or an oval. Things like Bugs Bunny were all based off ovals and stuff, but we're just going to start with a circle. I'm going to try and create something relatively cute and yeah, just something that would work in sort of animated or children's book illustration, something like that. So we're starting with a rough approximation of a circle. Don't get too caught up in whether your circle is perfect or not. And what we need is a center line. So if we're looking at something like this from the front, then this line here is the center and this line here is the eye line. And we need to visualize that as if it's on a sphere rather than just a flat circle. So let's bend that round like so. So you've got this kind of feeling. So that would be it straight on, but as we're bending around that ball, we're going to get a curve. Now, to me, when I think about bunnies, which is a sentence I've never said before, but the muzzle, the kind of like big puffy cheeks are something that I really think of. So normally I put my eye lines quite low and have like big eyes kind of thing like this, but I'm going to go about midway with this so we can get some real thickness to the cheeks. Right, and then they have this kind of like oval bit that comes off with the little noses on that are kind of like two balls. Now what you could do is you could draw two balls like this, but I tend to break my objects down into the biggest possible form and then break it down from there. So let's kind of go for a more of like a oval kind of feel, like this, like so. And you'll notice that this point here, where it connects, it's not halfway. There's more sticking out because this, if you're looking from the side, and this is a plane, this thing's sticking out like this. So it needs to feel like it's wrapping it round. So we need to find the center line of this ball, which it's going to start at this point, and it's going to wrap around like that. Now it doesn't need to be as thick and as scratchy as that. So let me just tighten that up a little bit. And that's actually going to go and connect around about here, like that. So you just need to really be thinking about your forms when you're drawing, like thinking like a sculptor. Okay, so then they have these big cheeks. Now I tend to draw the eyes very early on. It's usually the first feature that I draw, but I really wanted this to be a big part of it, the whole big cheek thing. So we're going to come up, and we're going to come quite high. If you look, we're actually coming higher than the nose. We're going to wrap around like so, and it's going to come away from the circle edge because we want as much 3D things as possible, so everything doesn't just feel like a circle with stuff attached to it like this, and everything ends up looking like a circle. We don't want that. We want to really think about how things are attached. Now, we're going to attach down here, this point, because this is the bottom part of the circle. So let's do that. Let's go and attach down here. So that's one of the cheeks. Let's maybe even come up even higher, like this. It's really milk the bunny. It's another thing I never thought I'd ever say. Let's milk the bunny. Let's get some of that bunny milk out. There we go. So we've got this look here, and then we need to emulate what's going on at the other side. So it's going to come, oh well, like look, if this is wrapping around like this form here, then it's going to attach down here somewhere. We're going to come up and round, and remember this is curving around a ball, so we want the similar kind of height. So it's going to come up to around there somewhere, then it's going to come off the form, come down and attach where this one attached. something like that. And as you can tell already, it's already got these kind of chubby cheeks. Really big cheeks. And fill them up with whatever food, carrots and stuff. So now we're going to place the eyes. Now, I like big eyes because I think they're very expressive, and big eyes generally mean cute. So I'm going to stick some big ovals in here. So we've got this, and again, we're thinking about things wrapping around circles. So this is going to get thinner as it wraps around, and it's going to attach in there, down there somewhere. And it's going to flatten out. So as you're getting further around a circle, things are going to flatten out like that because they're wrapping around and we're seeing less of the oval. There we go. So we've got this. Now let's stick in some eyeballs, some pupils, whatever they're called, like that. And with characters, it's usually best to leave them cross-eyed. If you go and look at any of the old Looney Tunes cartoons, then all of them were always cross-eyed and stuff. I'll just thin this out a little bit in here, just so it's a bit easier for you guys to see. So, like I said before, the nose bit is kind of like two circles next to each other like that. So what we're going to do is we're going to carve in. So we already know the centre line, so we're going to carve up a bit like this and then follow it round. So we're just thickening this up and coming down a little bit like so. So we've got this, then we're adding the far one, making that 3D. So as you can tell, this is starting to feel 3D, and we're thinking about form. Now again, I mean, I don't have any reference of rabbits in front of me, which when you're drawing animals, it's probably best to, well, it's definitely best to do that to get as many pictures of the animals as possible. But I don't have any rabbits in front of me, so but I think they have quite a small nose. So let's stick this little nose on it there like that. I may be wrong, they may have this big honking thing, but in my head they have a really small nose like this. Okay. Right, so now what I want to add on, so this is going to cut in there a little bit like that. What I want to add on is a mouth, obviously. Now we've got these big cheeks, so it'd be a shame not to fill these big cheeks with a big smile. So we're going to come from here. We're going to go, we're not just going to, if we see the side of that, we're not just coming off like this. We're actually going to go down and then up. So we're coming down off there, like so, and then up, like this. Then we're going to add this part here, which is where all the muscles bunch up. Just define that form a little bit more, like so. Then this wants a really big expression, in my opinion. So what we're going to do is we're going to come down from there, and we're going to come and attach in. So if we're picturing this other side, we're going to have the cheeks bunched up like this. The laugh, the top part of the mouth is going to come maybe not like that actually. So we've got this part in here, this arc, and as you can see, this comes down quite a way before it comes up, so it's probably going to attach down there. That's going to be more like it. And then we're going to come away from here like this. So we've got this big mouth. Now, another thing which you obviously think about is the big teeth. So we're going to make really big teeth. So we're going to come out and round like so. Then we're going to come to a bit of a point, then come out with that point. So we're going to have this kind of thing. like so. Really, really pushing that those teeth. Sorry, so they're looking really, really big. I want this bit in here to signify that they're split, and don't draw them all the way down like that because it kind of looks a bit weird. You just kind of signify that there's a break in them at the top. So we've got this kind of thing, and because we drew in this smile before we put the teeth in, this is going to feel like it's connected because that's the way we drew it in. Whereas if we drew the teeth in first, then draw this, and then this line, it's hard to kind of make it feel like it's all part of the same thing. So then we want to add in a tongue, which is just like a couple of little lines together like that. Now, this is a bit close to this edge, so we can either make it bigger, so it cuts in here a little bit, like so, or we could have made it smaller. I'm just going to make it bigger. I like big tongues, like that. And then, if we just fill this in a little bit, like so. And we're not worrying about having a finished drawing here, we're just worrying about getting the construction down, and then we can take these rough lines and we can go over them and make them neater with another layer, or if you're working on a pencil and paper, just trace it over it. Now, what it's good to do every so often is to just stop and take a look at your picture and see which things are working and which aren't. So what I'm going to do is just going to zoom out a bit. I'm going to take a look. Now, obviously we need the ears in there, but to me, I think we can get away with making these eyes even bigger, like so. Okay, so let me just go in and soften all this up. Like this. Now, I may be wrong. It may not look as good with the bigger eyes, but it's always worth experimenting and just constantly second guessing yourself and just trying to look at things objectively, see what's working and what's not. It's not every time you draw something it's not going to work. So I kind of like that. So obviously we need the eyebrows in. I'm going to add some bigger pupils to accommodate these bigger eyes. So let's just soften these a little bit. Just go in. Add some bigger pupils. Don't forget the little highlight like that. Really makes the designs pop. I'm going to add in a counterpart of that side. Now, the highlights will always be at the same side that the light is coming from. So if the light's coming from this way, that's the side that the highlights are going to be at. Okay, this is starting to look kind of in the ballpark idea for what was going on. Now, if I was doing my own character, what I would do is I wouldn't just draw one like this. I would go ahead and draw 4 or 5, 6, 7, 20, 30 different characters, just until I found something that I liked. Now, the way that I like to attach the eyebrows is to create like a mask, like Robin from Batman, like so, because it's difficult placing the eyebrows, so it makes it just a little easier if you're thinking about them as one object that sort of wraps around the face. Now, that's still not perfect, but it'll suffice. So we're going to add the eyebrows in like this. Now, looking at this, what I think would be best is if we have the eyebrows a little closer to the eyes, because we do need to get some ears in there. So let's add that mask, like so. Have it more like this. So we're just thickening these up a little bit. Now, eyebrows are thicker as they get to the as they get to the side of the nose, with the nose. So thicker, and then they work thin, like that. These are just guidelines. Like I say, we'll be cleaning things up a little bit later on. So we're just worrying about placement at the moment rather than the actual look of things. Like so. Let me just trim this down a little bit. Okay. So we've got the eyebrows on, like so. Now we need to attach the ears. So I'm assuming the ears attach like there, and then that circle that I've just done here, that's around the other side of the ear. So what might make sense is if I move this character down a little bit, like so. And let's give him some really, really big ears, because he's a rabbit, and rabbits have these big ears. So I like to draw just a line of kind of intent, I guess, like which way I'm going to be going with my ears. So that feels about right to me. So then all we need to do is we just need to go ahead and look at this. And I feel like this, because if we look, this is kind of in line with this eyebrow. And at this side we had it a bit higher up. So the actual ear is going to attach. Not quite there. Not quite there either. Looking at this. More like that. So let's draw in the ear. Like so. Okay. So what we're going to do is we're going to have kind of a straighter line here, but it's going to come out and in a little bit. Like so. Like this. You can see it comes out. It's like an S. Like a backwards S. It's going to come. Then we're going to come to a point here. And this side is just going to be like a backwards C. So we're coming like so. There we go. And then this in here is going to attach to the head. Now you probably won't see it attach like all the way around. And this is going to come and attach like this. And this is going to cut in here and cut in here. Now, again, it would help a lot if we had pictures of rabbits in front of us, but we don't. So let's kind of just guess what these ears look like. And to me, that kind of feels about right. Yeah, that feels okay. Then we've got these ones, which, because we're looking at these from a different angle, they're actually going to come back round, in and up, like this. Something like that, I'm imagining. Now, what we're doing is, we're thinking like sculptors and thinking like we're just trying to add bits of clay on and really make them feel like 3D objects. So that's kind of about right. So let's add in the ear part, the actual bit that does the listening. So it's going to be a bit thicker on the back, thinner on the bottom. I'm imagining. So we'd probably have something like that. Like I say, it'd make a lot more sense if we was looking at a real rabbit for reference, or even just looking at how other people construct cartoon rabbits would make sense. But that's kind of feeling about right to me. I mean, it's not perfect, but it's definitely fine. Now, one thing what I will experiment with a little bit, which I wouldn't normally do, but let's see what that looks like if these ears are, sorry, let's just move down a little bit. If these ears are just moved across a little bit, because I'm feeling like they're a bit too much on the side of the head, whereas a real rabbit's are probably more on the top like this. my brush back, my pencil. Yeah, that one's feeling a lot better. So what I'll do is I'll just do the same with this one. I'm not a fan of this. What just happened there? I'm not a fan of using the computer for making corrections, but it's fine if you're just making subtle corrections like this. Okay, it's not fine if the tool's not working there. Let's try that one last time. There we go. I imagine it was probably something I did wrong. I don't use this software too often. Let's have a look. Just go back to my brush. Let's just find where that circle was a little bit more. And to me, that's looking a little better. So one thing that I will do. So again, it's just what you want to be doing when you're creating images is really just paying attention to what's going on and making corrections as you go. It doesn't matter if you're not getting things perfect every time, first time, every time, because that's the whole creation process. You're meant to make mistakes. You're meant to just evolve and change things. So that's kind of what I'll do there. I'll add a little bit of hair on here. Those kind of strands. Okay, so this is how to draw a cute bunny rabbit. You can see we've made a few changes, and I would maybe even make more changes. Like I said, I would draw a few different versions of this rabbit and kind of improve on it each time. I'm not overly happy about the nose. I'll maybe make that a bit bigger, but as you can see, I'm inking very quickly just to show like a bit more of a finalized picture. But like I say, this is the way I would approach a bunny rabbit, and I will do more animals in the future. If there's anything you want to see, any other animals or any characters or anything like that you want to see, just let me know. Just leave a comment below. Hit the subscribe button, hit the like button, and I'll see you on the next video. So until next time, take care, have an awesome week, and I'll see you later. Goodbye.